Treyvhon Saunders is in the queue right now. What he doesn't know is that he's being honored this morning. So I hope he can enjoy this because I can see him off camera. You cannot. He is our top dog of the week, proudly presented by Canine Camp Dog Daycare, the place to bring your dog for daily care. You can call them at 315-437-7110. That's 315-437-7110 and get more information for their location on 228 Old Bridge Street in East Syracuse by going to k-9kamp.com. He's my top dog of the week. Why? Well, I went to Syracuse Pro Day, didn't know he was going to be there, and I'm filming, I'm just looking, watching 40s and different things, and I see this guy fly by on my video screen, and I was like, who's this Roadrunner that came in here? Treyvhon Saunders, a guy who has come out, banked on himself, went to Colgate, and has been a wide receiver for those Colgate Raiders. 11 catches, 105 yards this past season in the Dome against Syracuse. And then he comes back to Syracuse's campus, goes to Pro Day, caught my eye, definitely made me turn my head. And he's my top dog of the week because, in my opinion, in the world I live in, when you bet on yourself, you bank on yourself, you believe in yourself, you have faith in yourself, you can achieve anything. I'm not having him on the show today because I think. I'm having him on the show today because I believe we will see this man in the NFL. We will see him do great things because his belief in himself, his trust in himself, and his work ethic to be where he is today, he showed at Syracuse Pro Day. It doesn't matter the logo you wear. It matters the person you choose to be. And I have a ton of respect for somebody that will go out, work their tail off, and do everything in their power to take control of their own life. Because the only thing we can control is ourselves. So he's my top dog of the week, and I'll bring him back on when he makes it in the NFL so we can talk about that after we talked about this today. Mr. Saunders, congratulations on being our top dog of the week this week, and God bless to you and your family. How are you?
Thank you so much. I appreciate that. I'm good. How are you?
Doing well, man. And listen, I don't take that top dog of the week lightly. I only do it once a week, but you should have it because, like I said, I mean, going back and watching, and I can blink and go right back to the Ensley Center for Syracuse Pro Day. I was standing next to my buddy, and when I saw you run by, I looked at him and I go, who the hell is that? It's like, just caught me because you're all wearing, I mean, some of you were wearing like jersey numbers and, this and that. You just had the Colgate on your shorts. So we couldn't see that when you were running like lightning by us. And so I just remember looking at it because there was an order and then it was like out of order that people were going. And I remember going, I'm like, who's that man right there? And then, to know that it's you and to know, I mean, you were there. Damon Barnes was there from Cornell as well, who's been on the show. It just stuck out to me that you give credit where credit is due. And I told myself that day, you're coming on the show. Damon's coming on the show if you guys wanted to, because I wanted to showcase who you are and I wanted to showcase well beyond Pro Day. But I'm really happy that we got to cross paths. And I just want to let you know that the work you did there didn't just catch NFL scouts. It caught me and it caught other people as well.
Absolutely. I appreciate that.
Yeah. So bring me into it, man. I mean, I guess we'll start with the work ethic. Just everything that you've kind of commanded of yourself, right? Because some people in today's America sit on couches and they go, why am I not rich yet? Why hasn't anybody knocked on my door and given me what I wanted? The go and get it, the hay is never in the barn mentality. Those are the only people I like being around. So bring me into your work ethic and where it comes from and how you've embraced being consistent in that work ethic.
Absolutely. I mean, I definitely get it from my dad. He's somebody who puts in a ton of work, and he was in the blue collar construction site and just going out there and waking up at 3 a.m. every day, and then also doing overtime on weekends and just seeing him work his absolute tail off. Definitely put a light into my fire. I would also say my freshman year of high school, my mother passed away, and my promise to her, actually, the day before she passed, was to go to the NFL. And just to live that up and live that truth, I think that's definitely what started it all. Just not even the motivation, but honestly the discipline to make that come true. And since then, I've been working my tail off and just getting after it. And then honestly, after my ankle surgery, and there was like 2 months where I couldn't even be on my feet, and then I had to learn how to walk again. I had to learn how to do certain things again, and just doing rehab and getting back to the way that I was. And honestly, it was only 2 months where I was really on my feet and running, training for the pro day. So that just shows you how much work and effort that I put into that 2 months to come back and do the times and the metrics that I did at the pro day.
What's your mom's first name?
Danielle.
So Danielle, and I'm I'm sad for that passing. I know she always lives on with you, but I'm sad that she's not here right now physically to be sitting there next to you. But I know that I know she's watching you for sure. You made that promise. You said it the day before she passed away. You told her, "I'm going to the NFL." Why did that come out of your mouth at that time? I mean, you don't know exactly the moment, right, that someone's going to pass away, but something inside of you said, I need to say this. When you reflect on that moment, hindsight 2020, why did you tell her that?
Yeah, man, I think it was just seeing her decline so fast because she died of ALS, and typically you got like 3 to 4 years to live. But she passed in 1 year. So seeing her going from taking me to my dentist appointments and having hibachi nights and having game nights and going bowling, just to see her decline so fast to walking with a cane to in a wheelchair to having to have the hospital bed inside our house. Um, and I could tell that she was in so much pain and agony every single day towards the end. And we kind of knew it was coming to that time. And honestly, I just went in there because I heard her crying so much and was just in so much pain. And I went in there and I just hugged her and I told her I loved her. And then we were just talking a little bit. And then I was just telling her about me and everything that I got going on, but also just confiding with her and her pain and everything. And then we just started having a conversation, and somehow I got to the NFL, and I made that promise to her. And just seeing the next day that she passed, I just wanted to uphold that and just make her proud, honestly.
I mean, and I'm sad to hear that too. I have a friend. We just talked about Chick-fil-A Cicero, Jim Sikowski. One of my closest friends. He's a brother to me, and he also has ALS, and it's something that it's tough. And like you said, I mean, but you went back to you said hibachi nights, right? Going to the dentist appointments, the things that you remember about your mom. Bring me into hibachi night. Was that like a weekly thing? Was it a monthly thing? Where did you go? Because you bringing that up, I just got a
Mhm.
feeling that was probably one of your favorite memories.
Yeah, I mean, so whenever she took me to my dentist appointments, for I had braces at the time, so I would get them fixed. And then, of course, like it's tight, so your teeth is hurting. But right after, we would always go get hibachi. I think it was in McNaughton, in Columbus, Ohio. And we would get those and just go home and eat it together. And that was kind of like our special moment right before she started to decline in her health. But yeah, that was just a key moment for me because it was always just me and her listening to music on the way to the dentist appointment, then on the way to hibachi, and then coming back and eating together and watching a movie or a show, and just enjoying each other's company.
What's your go to hibachi?
Definitely chicken fried rice, hibachi chicken.
Okay, all right. I can respect it. So, like you said, going home watching a movie. I mean, how did that? When you think back about your mom and those memories, how does that affect your life to today? Like the appreciating the moment, so to speak.
Yeah, it definitely shows you that life is not guaranteed, and honestly, it helped me in all aspects of my life because it just made allowed me to really appreciate every single moment that I have and to wake up and give glory to God. And I think that's honestly what kind of sparked my relationship even more with the Lord because we were always going to church and always listening to gospel music on Sundays. You wake up and you hear gospel music, it's cleaning day. Um, but uh, just getting closer with God. And I think I was questioning Him so much at first. And then honestly, just got into my faith with Him and understood that some things happen and it's not, doesn't mean that God's destroying your life or putting you in agony for a reason. Everything has a purpose in life, and I think that was definitely a purpose for me and my family. And she's obviously in a great place now, and I definitely think that it allowed me, even in my workouts, to honestly know that if she can go through so much pain and agony, one workout or one hard workout, one hard game, one hard practice will not destroy me, and that I was stronger than what I was, and it allowed me to mentally go deeper than I've ever been before. And now pain isn't exactly how it is anymore. I know how to tap into my mind and go to those dark places sometimes to get me past certain hard workouts or certain hard moments in my life.
Well, you said, I mean, you just said it. You know how to tap into your brain, go into dark places. So you're essentially using what should have defeated you to have victory. You're using the darkness to bring light.
Yes.
How'd you do that?
I don't know, man. I think it took time. I think at first I was just so enraged with anger and sadness at first, but then once I grieved it and processed it and really took my time to regulate myself, I used it to bring great things into my life and not bring that anger and control my anger and control all the things that I had going on with myself. And honestly, I just turned it into passion. That was the main thing.
And, Trey, you said that when it comes to your faith, you're closer to God now. Other people go through tragedy, somebody passes away that they're close with, and they say, well, God doesn't exist because if God existed, he wouldn't do this to me. Why do you believe stronger now after going through heartache than believing less? Because there are people that say, well, if God doesn't do everything I want him to do and he doesn't, cure all these illnesses and give me my money and this, that, whatever, then I don't believe. You're telling me I went through hardships, my mom passed away, and I believe in him more. Why?
Man, I think the notion that your life needs to be perfect in order for God to be real and true and actually out there, that's not the definition of a relationship with the Lord. Like, you have to have faith in him regardless and understand that his purpose is bigger than ours, and his plan and path is way bigger than our understanding. Like, we can never understand God's abilities and God's understanding of what he wants for this life. And I think trying to understand that is honestly the is not the purpose in our life. We're supposed to be obedient regardless of what's going on in our lives. And honestly, I tapped into the Bible more. Like, I never really read the Bible before that, but then reading the Bible, you understand that pain is a part of our process, is a part of our life, and there's just certain things like maybe that was her time to go. She lived a beautiful life, she lived a wonderful life, but maybe that was time for God to say you're supposed to be in heaven with me now. And it's just certain things like that where you kind of flip the narrative to not be so negative, but for it to be positive. And honestly, I think the way of living for God is the right way regardless, because you're just living a great human being life. Like, you're a good citizen, you're a good person, you're a good human being. So I think that's imperative for my life.
Treyvhon Saunders here with us. Caught my camera and caught my eye and how fast he was running at Syracuse Pro Day. And now, speaking to my heart and my mind on what we've talked about in just a few minutes here today. Trey, this is not a question. This is a statement. Thank you for being the person that you are, because the things that you just said in these first few minutes, there's somebody watching and listening that you can literally help them change their narrative, flip their story, see things differently. It's conversations like this that remind me of what I do for a living. So I want to say thank you for that.
Absolutely. Thank you.
So I've talked to Omar King. I've spoken with Kurt Fitzpatrick. They say nothing but great things about you. I got a text from Kurt, who was on the show yesterday, your head coach at Colgate, and he
Hmm.
was like, enjoy your time. I want to go back and see exactly what he said here. But he he was talking about enjoying my time with you on the show today. What can you say about the coaching staff at Colgate and just what it's meant to you to be a part of the Raiders program and what that did for your life, knowing that, you've obviously had an impact on the coaching staff, how has Colgate impacted you?
Yeah, I want to go back to actually last year. I was in the transfer portal after our head coach got fired, and Coach Fitzpatrick called me a couple of times, and we had a long conversations about it. And I was basically telling him I'm gonna take more visits and see what's out there for me. And then honestly, we just kept talking, and something clicked. Like there's a bunch of people from my hometown that I actually knew about him and knew how great of a coach he was and how great his scheme was for offense. And then just speaking with him and hearing how he'll utilize me and how he wants me to take the leadership role and get the guys right and get them all on a good path. Just hearing that clicked with me, honestly. And from there, I committed back to Colgate, came back. We had a great relationship. The offense was clicking, the defense was clicking, the team was clicking, and just him bringing Coach Gerbino as well, Omar King, just so many guys onto the staff that was new. They're great, man. They're great coaches. Like I have nothing but respect for them. I still go into the office now and still talk it up with them and super close to everybody. Coach Gerbino actually came to my pro day and he was supportive and I just appreciate them guys so much. And even during the season, like those first couple games, those first 5 games, I was going off, and it was because of Coach Fitzpatrick and because of Coach Rubino and putting me in the right situations. And our scheme has so many nuances with it that it allowed me for me to understand the knowledge of the game, the IQ of the game, understanding coverages for me to honestly flourish in that offense. And I would say he's the best OC in the nation. And I think he's going to prove that this year and all the years to come. But I have so much respect for all of those guys, honestly.
Well, and you said you went in the portal when the previous coach was let go at Colgate, and Kurt called you up and had conversations with you, and you said, "I'm going to see what's out there. I'm going to go and see what my opportunities are." What was it about your conversations with Kurt Fitzpatrick while you were in the portal that eventually brought you out of the portal?
I think honestly, the first conversation that we had when I told him that I would continue looking, he was mad supportive of it. Like he didn't tell me, "No, you need to make a decision right now. This is what it's going to be." Blah blah blah. He was supportive, and he didn't even know me at the time. So I think just showing so much support and so much love in the beginning, without even knowing me and getting to know me as a human being, I think that was huge. And then we started talking more and having conversations about the scheme and having conversations about how he wants to utilize me and his play style and things of that nature. And I think honestly it just clicked, like just hearing him talk about it and feeling my gut feeling. I think that was the biggest thing is that I followed my heart and my mind and everything was telling me to go back to Colgate. And I honestly think that was God's purpose for me was to go back to Colgate. I think he wasn't done with me at Colgate and my story wasn't finished. And although like I said, it didn't go as I planned for it to go this year in terms of me getting injured and fracturing my fibula, I'm sorry, but I think it was just it was the right plan because everything still worked out, and I actually ended up being a coach at the end of the season and getting to get exposed with that and helping the guys out as much as I can. I just wanted the Colgate to succeed and get back on the path that it was when it was winning so many championships back in the day.
What was it like? Like you said, you got to be on the coaching side of things when you went through your injury and your season ended early. What did you get to do, and just how you experienced what it was like to find your way into that coaching world instead of just sitting on the bench and feeling sorry for yourself, right? To go out there and say, "Give me something, coach, give me something to do." So, how did it come about that you got to essentially be a part of the coaching staff, and just what you experienced from that?
Yeah, so when I first got injured, a bunch of the guys were reaching out to me, and especially my receiver group, when they was texting me and saying how much they love me and how much they just have so much respect for me and my game and the way I go about it. Um, my response to them was honestly, I want to see you succeed. I want to see you be better than me. I want to see you do great. So I'm gonna do everything in my power to make sure you understand the offense and understand my position, so that you can be the best that you can be out on the field. And it went from that, then it went from talking to the coaches and getting on the same page with them, and then when in practice. I was basically looking at the slot almost every single play and just coaching them up and telling them what they did good, what they need to do different, just critiquing them a little bit. Because, like I said, there's so many nuances with the slot. So one play, you could do the same play twice and they could look completely different. So it was just so much learning and understanding that you needed to do for the offense. So just going up and coaching them. And then during games, I would actually have a headset, and Coach Rubino would actually be telling me what to tell the players, and just having conversations with the coaching staff, just telling them about the coverages that's going on, who's coming on in the field, who's subbing, just so many things about it. And I think it definitely made my understanding of coverages and of the game even more broader and more detailed. It definitely gave me a different experience and a different a different perspective on the game.
Well, and like you said, I mean, to be able to do that is, and you said they were reaching out to you. Did you have, were you kind of apprehensive at first? Like, not even apprehensive, but were you kind of like, no, that's okay. And then they're like, no, no, no. Like, I think this would be really good for you. Like, how did you eventually decide and say, like, you know what? Yeah, I mean, I'm sad I have an injury. I got to go through this. I got to do my rehab and heal. But sure, I'll do it. Like, bring me into the process you had of being open to living in this world of coaching.
Nah, I mean, honestly, it was immediate. Like, I talked to everybody about what was going on. I honestly didn't get back onto the field until after my surgery, maybe a week or two after. So it was about 3 weeks of a span where I wasn't on the field and wasn't with the guys, but I just missed them so much. I wanted to, like I said, I wanted to pour into the guys as much as I could and make sure the guys had a chance to be great. And like I said, I wanted them to be better than me on the field. And I think that just shows my type of character that I have, and that it wasn't about me. Like, this game is so much bigger than me, and I understand when I'm gone and when I'm done at Colgate, there's gonna be other guys that's gonna come into my position, come into my spot, and take it and flourish. And there's a lot of guys on the team that I honestly was trying to be a mentor for, especially PJ Holmes. He's going to be a great receiver for them this upcoming year, but that's my guy. And like I said, I just tried to take as many people as I can with me, and allow everybody to succeed and just give them so much knowledge that I can.
Yeah, and I love that. I mean, the pay it forward approach. Who paid it forward to you in your life? Like, as you pay it forward to these guys now that you're just talking about, who can you say paid it forward to you?
Yeah, man. I mean, the guy that comes to mind is Oki. He was a fifth year senior when I first got in, and being he was my mentor to me, honestly. But then other than that, it was honestly just myself. Like, I came in with a dog mentality that I wanted to start, that I wanted to be out there and play my freshman year, and I made that happen. I started in 10 personnel, and then sophomore year it became my year, and I became the receiver one, and just took off from there. So I honestly say, like I said, from my mother's death to on to now, like, I've always had that dog mentality that I want to get everything that I can and not leave anything on the plate. So I would say it was honestly myself as well.
Yeah, paying it forward to you. I love that. So, looking at the fact that, I mean, in your time at Colgate, over 200 receptions cumulatively, over 2,300 yards receiving, and, double digits in touchdowns as well, leaving it all on the field, what would you say about your time at Colgate in those seasons?
Yeah, I mean, I just put my all out there. Like, I understand that the results wasn't exactly what we wanted it to be in some of the years. For example, my junior year, also my freshman year, but um, I think it was just a testament to the guys and all the work that we put in. It was a lot of pain, it was a lot of agony, it was a lot of frustration, but we still put our heads down and went out there and worked. And even the times that it was great, we still put our head down and just continued to work. And I think I just had such a great time at Colgate, and I appreciate them for all the people, all the coaches, all the support that I had to go through that time and just succeed. Honestly.
Yeah, I mean, and here with Treyvhon Saunders once again, here on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora, Colgate Raiders wide receiver alum heading into the 2026 NFL Draft. Here on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora inside the Great Lakes Honda City studios. Kurt came from winning a national championship in Division Three in the state of New York, representing Colgate and the Red Dragons. He jumps from D3 to D1 to FCS to coach you and your teammates. What made you believe in Kurt Fitzpatrick? Did anybody say, like, oh, this is not a D1 coach coming from a D1 place? Let's see what he's got. I mean, what bring me into that, right? Because I want to know how you kind of welcomed him and if people believed in him from day one, or if some people were saying he came from a different division, it's going to take some time for us to believe in this.
No, I think everybody had the utmost respect for him. winning a championship in any level is hard to do, and the fact that he did it, I commend him for that. But honestly, a lot of the guys figured that he would get the job. I know a lot of my roommates honestly was talking about Cortland's head coach, and I didn't know much about him at the time, but just hearing how much love and support that he had from the guys that didn't even know him fully. So just for him to come into the head coach spot, all the guys are fired up, and we knew what it was going to be like, and the difference in the coaches for sure.
Yeah. Well, I mean, to see that is an awesome thing. To hear that is a great thing. I mean, coming off of your time with him, your one season with Kurt Fitzpatrick, I know you mentioned, your offensive coordinator, pass game coordinator as well. Coach Joe. This you talked about your offensive leader in Coach Joe being somebody that you believe is going to win and win consistently. What is it about his style and who he is as a coach? Because you said making the decision to stay at Colgate. Yes, you talked to Kurt Fitzpatrick, but then you also talked to Joe. So what was it about him specifically that made you believe in his plan, his idea, not only for you to stay, but you believing in him now post you being there, that you think he's going to keep being successful?
Yeah, I mean, it's just his dedication, like the way that he came into work from the first meeting that we had with all the guys. He showed that he was here to stay. He showed that he was here to work and put his head down and go out there and get it. I think he's a guy of competition and motivation and all of that stuff. And he wants to win as much as we want to win. And we want to win for him. He wants to win for us. He wants to win for himself. We want to win for ourselves. So it's just like all the guys coming together and having the same vision, the same path to win and to get those things done to succeed. He showed me throughout the season, and I was on a headset with him and understood how much he wanted this. So it just gave me even more respect and a different perspective of him. But like I said, I think he's gonna light the league up and just continue lighting it up throughout all the years.
This past season, you were a part of this. Colgate set a new program record for passing touchdowns in a season with 29 and 3,294 passing yards, were the most passing yards for Colgate in a decade. You were a part of that passing to receiving world of having the most yards through the air in a decade, plus having the most passing touchdowns ever when it comes to the Colgate Raiders history. What does that mean to you? And what does that say about what we can expect from Colgate moving forward?
I think it's a testament to his coaching style and the way that he goes about it. Like he's a genius and he understands the offense scheme and how to attack the defense. Like I've seen it on the field and off the field while seeing him make plays. Um, and he's just a great coach, and I think that he's going to continue lighting up those records and make that even more prominent. But like I said, I believe in him. I believe in the coaching staff. I think they're all going in the right path, and they all want it. So, I mean, just the motivation and the discipline and the dedication to get that done. I think they're going to do it.
You were in the Dome at Syracuse before coming to Syracuse Pro Day at the end of the season. Inside of the Dome up against the Orange, 11 catches, 105 yards. Bring me into that game and that moment for you to be in a storied place, to go up against an ACC opponent inside of the autonomy group, and to put up double-digit catches and have over 100 yards receiving.
Yeah, I actually knew that it was going to be a game that the scouts were going to look at and evaluate the most because of competition. I think that's a huge thing when you're a lower division of D1. But uh, like I said, I went in that game knowing that I needed to go off and to have a great game, and
Yeah.
I think that's just a testament to my work ethic. I go hard in practice every single day, and nothing of my approach was different. I just understood that that game would be evaluated a little bit more. So I just went out there and played my game, and like I said, I let it come to me. I wasn't too hard on myself for making it such a bigger moment than it was. I just went out there and played, and ended up doing very well.
Yeah, I mean, for you, do you have a favorite moment? Is it that moment collegiately, or is there another moment that you go back to that you're like, man, if I could close my eyes, go back to the field in this game, this is where would want to go?
I think the Monmouth game. I mean, that game was electric, and just going back and forth with them because they're a great team as well. But getting 200 and some yards is a lot with two touchdowns. That was a great game, and that's one of the games that I'm gonna definitely remember when I'm older.
Treyvhon Saunders here with us on Wake Up Call inside the Great Lakes Honda City Studios. Trey, you talked about it. You know, your season was cut short due to injury. Bring me through how you navigated that adversity. I know we talked about jumping immediately on the coaching side and getting experience there, but how did you get through that time and just navigating something that is beyond your control?
Yeah, I mean, it was a lot. It was a lot of pain at first. Just sitting around and waiting and having to not be on my feet for a couple weeks. Um, but I think honestly, all the support that I had around me, like my family and my friends and the teammates and everything, just having them texting me and check up on me and call me just to hang out with me for a couple minutes and things of that nature. Um, I think those people were the one that pushed me forward and allowed me to keep going and not give up on myself because honestly, I didn't know what my timeline would be when I first got injured. I didn't know if it would be 6 months, 7 months. I wouldn't have to do a pro day. Like I didn't know what it would be. Um, but I think in the grace of God that He allowed me to be ahead of my process the whole entire time, and then whenever I just came back, I felt good and I felt 100%, and like I said, I went out there and gave it my all. But yeah,
You know, I was talking before you came on the show in our segment lead, brought to you by Chick-fil-A Cicero, about the statement and the reality that you are worth it. And that sometimes someone comes into our lives and reminds us that we're worth it. I asked you how you got through this tough time. You said there were people around you that were there for you. Who were some of those people, and what do you want to thank them for in that moment?
yeah. I mean, I think it was definitely my dad, my grandma, um, my girlfriend. Honestly, she was a big part of it too. My friends back home, Bryce, Deontay, Alex, Treon. Um, my brother and sisters, like I said, my whole coaching staff, my whole team, just all of those guys just coming and like I said, coming to the crib and just talking to me for a little bit or just coming to show love and support. Like it was a very immense amount of love that I got, and I appreciate everybody for that.
So for you, I mean, to have all that love and support and to have those people in your corner, you go through this time. It's tough, but you get to coach, you get to learn. You said God put you in front of your rehab. So just like you reflected on your mom's passing and you saw that there's good here, that God is here. How did God show himself to you again through this injury, through the navigation, through your plans not being what ended up happening? Because we always say, if we tell God our plans, he'll laugh. So how did this experience you just had show you that God's plans are better and that he had your back?
Yeah, man, I would definitely just say like I took it day by day. Like especially with an ankle injury, like I couldn't walk. It was frustrating. It was hard. Like I had to my dad bought me like a little walking stick that I would actually wouldn't be able to have to use my hands so I could like cook and everything. But just like even having my foot up on that, it was painful. Like it hurt. I didn't know what I could do to make it feel better. I don't really like to take meds like that. So I
Yeah.
kind of just endured the pain and everything like that. But it was a lot, man. Like I wanted to just be able to walk and just be able to run and be out there with the guys and just watching them practice and me just sitting around in pain. It was painful just mentally and physically. But I understood that every single day I was getting better and that as long as there's process, then that's all that matters. Like I don't know if you ever heard like better is better. Um so I understood that it was his plan and it was already written. My story was written, and I just had to just go along with the process and not complain too much.
I love this conversation, Trey. I was really looking forward to having you on the show, but I mean, now that we're talking, I definitely love it even more. There's a lot of things to get into, but if you'll allow me, I'm going to read off a lot of things that you've achieved, if that's okay
Okay.
with you, because I think
Yeah.
the NFL should know this. So, NFL scouts, I guess, find your closest couch and relax because I got a few things that I need to say here. A lot of amazing things that this gentleman has done. In his senior season of 2025, he led the FCS, all of NCAA Division I AA, all of it, the entire FCS, not the Patriot League, the whole country, in receptions with 50, reception yards with 700, and reception yards per game with almost 117 before he had that season-ending injury in week 6. Also had 6 touchdown receptions, while at the time was in the top 10 nationally. So we're talking about the national leader in receptions, receiving yards, and receiving yards per game in the entire country of all the FCS before he went out with the injury. That's something to note. Another thing to note here, he has the program records in Colgate history of receptions, 230, and single season receptions with 88 in 2024. These are some of the honors that have been received by Treyvhon Saunders. 2023 First Team All-Patriot League. 2024 Phil Steele First Team Preseason All-Patriot League. 2-time Patriot League Offensive Player of the Week. 2024 Division I FCS All-ECAC Team. 2024 First Team All-Patriot League. 2025 Walter Payton Preseason Watch List. 2025 Stats FCS Preseason All-America Third Team. 2025 William V. Campbell Trophy Semifinalist. 2025 Academic All-Patriot League. 2025 First Team All-Patriot League. 2025 FCS Athletic Directors Association Academic All-Star, and was invited to the 2026 NFL FCS Showcase for the entire nation when it comes to the FCS, and to Syracuse Pro Day. Did I miss anything, Trey?
I believe no.
So when you reflect on that, what does that mean to you, that your work ethic, your dedication, your determination, your faith, your strive, your perseverance has led to all of these opportunities to be out there, not just in the Patriot League, not just at Colgate, not just in the Patriot League, but in front of the entire nation? A lot of the things I read off were for the entire FCS, all of NCAA Division I AA. Just what that means to you, that you have a lot of national honors, and that before your injury this past season, you were leading the entire country in 3 categories for all receivers everywhere in these 50 states.
It shows a lot, man. Honestly, going into the season, I wanted to be the best. I wanted to be like not even just an FCS, the best receiver in the nation. I always strive for it. I think even my sophomore year, I wanted 1K yards. I ended up getting like 880 something yards. I think junior year ended up getting like 800 something. So like this year, I was like, okay, I'm gonna get the 1,000. I'm gonna get 1.5K. I'm gonna get over 10 touchdowns. Like I had so many goals for myself. I wanted to get All American. I wanted to stack up everything that I could and squeeze everything out that I could in this last year of my season, and just to be like you said, leading the FCS and receiving yards and catches and catches per yard and everything like that. Like I think it really did show all the work that I put in all these years. And like I said, it's my work hasn't left. Like my work ethic is still the way it is. Like I'm still about to go get a workout after this and 2 workouts and do everything that I can to just be the best player I can. So whenever I do get chosen and picked or signed, that I can be the best on the NFL team and get on a 53-man roster and just things of those nature. Like I said, I'm at a loss for words just because like I know how much pain and effort that I put into this whole entire process. And sometimes it's hard to speak about because of like how passionate I am about my work ethic.
Well, and that's the thing is like, there's good habits, there's bad habits. Habits are created. Why have you created? I mean, like, how do you stay true to this? Like, you keep talking about your work ethic, and you said, I'm so passionate about it. It's hard to like get all the words out because of how passionate you are. How have you kept the consistency of the work ethic? I think is the biggest thing, because some people work really hard, really good, really well for a short period of time. Why have you been so consistent about your work ethic?
I think the biggest thing is I've always been humble. Like I've never let the moment be bigger than what it was, and I've never been satisfied fully of everything that I've gotten. Like all those records were great, all of those accolades were amazing to hear, but like I've always wanted more. Like I don't know, I just always want more. I want more. I want more. And maybe that's not a good thing, but in my mind, it's a great thing because that makes me continue to be hungry. Like you said, there's some guys would have been like, "Oh, I had a good pro day. Like I'm good. I'll just take a break and wait until the NFL draft, and then I'll get back to my work ethic." No, I got straight back to work, and I want to work as hard as I can and be as great as I can because I understand that there's other guys out there working, so I need to be better than them. Everything in my mind has always been competition since I was a little kid. I hated losing. I always wanted to win, and that's the same thing now. I hate losing, and I want to be the best out there. So I'm going to do everything that I can in my power to be that.
Yeah, and you said, I mean, you had a good pro day out at Syracuse's campus. Your broad jump, 9 feet, 10 inches. Your vertical, 38 inches. Your 40 time, 4.4. Your 20-yard shuttle, 4.29. Your three cone, 7. As well as the fact that, you went out there and decided to do this thing with no shirt. If you have a percentage of body fat, Trey, is it 0.2%? I mean, I don't know what I'm saying because I'm looking at the numbers, and then I saw you out there doing your thing, and I was going, so I mean, this guy looks like the Thing from Fantastic Four, right? Where you're just rock. So bring me into that because the scouts are looking at your body, they're looking at how you've taken care of yourself. They're also looking at your numbers. Reflect on pro day with me and what you thought coming out of pro day.
Man, I was excited. Like I said, I only had 2 months to prepare for it.
Yeah.
Some guys get, like I said, they get the season, they get the winter, and they get the pro day training. I only got pro day training for 2 months, 8 weeks to be exact. And I think at first, like it was a bunch of taking your shoes off, walking without any ankle brace, and I still had my ankle brace on when I first came in there. I was walking around with my ankle brace just on a day-to-day basis because I wasn't mentally prepared to put everything on the line for my ankle to be okay because that's just a lot of trauma.
Yeah.
But when I went out there, he told me take off my shoes, take off my ankle brace. You're gonna get to it. And then week 3, I think week 2, I was fully without an ankle brace. Didn't wear it in the workouts, didn't wear it every day walking around. I fully just allowed myself to just allow my mental just to calm down, trusting it, trusting my process, trusting my training, trusting my rehab, most of all. Went out there and I gave it my all. I was working out 5 times a day, traveling to Syracuse every single day. So what would happen is I would have my classes in the morning, I would have treatment, I would throw with the guys, then I would leave around 4 or 5 p.m., go to Syracuse, train at like 6 o'clock, get done around 7:30, 8, come back, eat again, and then go to sleep and do it all over again. And I was doing that 5 times a day. And then on the weekend, I was still throwing with the guys. So I was putting in so much work and as much as work as I could to make sure my ankle wasn't flaring up, to make sure everything was still good. And then we tapered it off the last week, got my body right, and I went out there and performed. And I think that was really a testament to everything that I put in, and just knowing that I could come back from that. And I really just think it was God. I think it was God showing me that
Yeah.
and showing everybody that without him, nothing is possible and it won't be the best that I could. But I just trusted him the whole entire time. And like I said, those metrics that I got, the 910, the 38, the 4.4, all of that was from God and just my work ethic of going out there because what he says is laziness will not get the reward. So I went out there and put in the work.
Yeah, I think that's the biggest thing, right? If you want the reward, you got to put the work in. And I respect and I appreciate the fact that you did it. Almost every NFL team was there at Syracuse Pro Day. So, I mean, you had almost the entire NFL looking at you in that room. What was that interaction like? Did you get to talk with any scouts, any specific teams, just anything in that respect where you felt like you built any bridges while at Pro Day?
Honestly, at pro day, I had my head down. I was not to say this, like I wasn't truly worried about a conversation with a scout. I was just trying to do the best that I could, and like I said, I went in there in a dog mentality. I wasn't buddy buddy with nobody. I wasn't friends. I was going there to perform and get out of there with a great day because I know how much that day truly rides on all of it. Um, So, I mean, I did have a dinner with the Vikings the night before, had a great time with them, had a great conversation. But then on the day of, I let my agent talk to him, and I just went out there and performed and had a great time.
What was the dinner like with the Vikings? Bring me into that. Just and you said it was the night before, so where did you go and just what the experience was like?
Yeah, we went to an Italian steakhouse or steak place in Syracuse. I was with Michelle, the scout, and then also had their special teams coordinator and assistant special teams there. We had a great time. We was just talking about the pro day coming up. We was talking about my season, just all the things around it. But it was a great time with them. I had a wonderful time.
How did they leave you? Like what did they say to you coming out of all of this?
Oh, I mean, they was just excited for me to see me at pro day, and then after my pro day, they were very happy for the results that I got and seeing me go out there and put everything on the line.
You come from Ohio. So I know that, I mean, you could have a team from anywhere, right? You could be a Cleveland fan, you could be a Cincinnati fan, or you could pick somebody totally different. I know that you'll go wherever you need to go, but as a kid, did you have a dream place?
Honestly, no. Like my dad's favorite team was the Steelers, so I guess that could quote unquote be my favorite team. But I've never had a favorite team. I like players. That's what I would say. Like I like certain players on teams, and I would like look out for those players while watching them. But like I said, I don't have a favorite team that I want to go to. Like I'm happy to play anywhere. And my mindset has always been like, as long as I make it through the door, as long as I can walk through the door, I can show anybody who I am and my play style. Um, and that's all I'm looking for. Like I'm looking for a team to either draft me or sign me, regardless of what it is. As long as I get a chance and opportunity, I think I'm definitely going to take that and run with it.
They say that whatever door God opens, no man can close. Whatever door God closes, no man can open. You just talked about if the door is open, I know that I can do it. What do you want to say to the NFL of those doors that God does open? What should the NFL know about Treyvhon walking through and into their facility?
I mean, for one, you're going to get a great character. You're going to get a culture guy. You're going to get somebody that's going to put his head down and work, but also a leader. Like I'm not looking to go in there and and just put my knees down and just I'm waving a white flag in terms of the guys that's already starting. I'm gonna go in there and give them competition and make them earn a spot. Like I'm gonna earn a spot. Um, but I'm gonna just be a guy that's always gonna work. I'm not somebody who's gonna have cause you problems or cause you trouble. I don't do anything. I stay at home. I watch video games. I mean, I play video games. I watch TV shows. I watch movies, and that's pretty much all I do. Um, and then in terms of football, I'm all in on football, man. That's my life. That's something that I'm truly passionate about. I'm determined and I'm disciplined. Like I don't need motivation to go out there and work. I'm going to do it regardless and make sure that the results pay off.
How would you describe yourself as a wide receiver?
I would honestly say versatile and dynamic. I can go outside, I can go inside. Mainly, I am inside, but I mean, I'm good versus zone versus man. It doesn't matter. I think the last year truly showed that. Our offensive scheme really put me in the right positions to make the plays on my end. Um, but like I said, I'm just somebody who can run the ball. I'm somebody who can be the third down guy that you go to that you need a play and you need him to make the play. I can run slot fades, I can run outs, I can run slants. I can run short, immediate, and deep. It doesn't matter. I think that I'm somebody who you throw the ball to, they're going to catch the ball, and I think I showed that this year in terms of my contested catches. I'm somebody who's definitely consistent, and you can trust to go out there and play.
There was a when you were running routes at pro day, there was a catch you had that I saw where you jumped to the ground and grabbed the ball and got it and made sure that you had possession of it. What do you think you showed the scouts at pro day when you were doing some of those other things when it came down to, running routes, taking passes from Danny Lauder, who just transferred into Syracuse from Georgetown, and obviously being at Colgate, you know all about Georgetown. So, just what was that like to catch passes from him? And did you kind of have a little joke with him, like, "Oh, my adversary is going to be throwing me the ball. Like, make sure you do right by me today."
That's actually hilarious. because me and Danny actually knew each other. We follow each other from on Instagram for a couple years now. We've been supportive of each other. So just to see each other go into that special moment of he's throwing for the pro day, I'm actually attending the pro day, was kind of special to have the Patriot League connection. But he's a great quarterback. I think he's going to do great at Syracuse. But in terms of seeing like for the scouts, I honestly just wanted to show them that I was back and able to cut and able to catch the ball and things of those natures. I honestly wish I could have did so many more routes to
Yeah.
show how much I truly got. But I think I only did like five. But I think I still went out there and showed it. But yeah, I think I did good.
Yeah, I think they definitely should have put y'all in a showcase even more so out there with your routes. You talked about being inside, which means that you got to go over the middle, right? That's a place some receivers don't want to go because you're going to get lit up, right? There's going to be a linebacker that can't wait
Mm.
to have you come across their dinner table. So, why are you okay doing that? And I ask you that question thinking of Mike Thomas in Jacksonville, who was never afraid to do that. And I remember I said to him, I go, "What? Why do you go across the middle when other guys don't want to?" And he looked at me and he goes, "What you think these big muscles are for?" So like I'll never forget that. So why are you cool going over the middle into the danger zone where there's a lot of traffic?
Yeah, I mean, that's just a testament of my strength and conditioning coach and all the things that he put me through and making sure my hand moves are good. My like I if you watch film, honestly, I break a lot of tackles. I usually don't let the first guy tackle me. And even when I do hit hard, I pop right up and I don't show any expression. I don't show any emotion. So turn on the tape for that for one, and then for two, honestly, I'm gonna do the job that I need to get done. Like if they need me to go over the middle, that's cool. If they need me to go immediate and run a middle read and get over the Sam and then get over the safety, like I'll do it. Like it truly doesn't matter to me. The hits, I'm not afraid of contact. I'm not afraid somebody to hit me. Honestly, we both probably gonna go head to head because I'm gonna be running full speed at you too. But yeah, I'm not afraid of contact, and I'm okay to go in the middle.
Yeah, I love that. And I think that's huge. And it's another testament to your game that needs to be spoken about. Let's jump into some rapid fire. Treyvhon, you never get to ask the questions. Here on Wake Up Call, you do. So enjoy the moment. You and I will go back and forth. We can ask each other any topic, any question, literally anything that's on our mind. You go first, then I'll go. We'll go back and forth. What do you have for me?
What's your music taste?
Everywhere. I would say there's only two types of music I don't like listening to. I don't like gangster rap like I'll kill your family. I don't like
Hmm.
that type. I like hip hop. So I'm
Hmm.
not going like gangster disrespect women negative whatever and I'm not going to screaming music, but I would say my choice I'm Christian music, I'm country, I'm hip hop, I'm rap, I'm R&B, and then I think if I had to, and classic rock, I think if I had to choose because I've been singing my whole life, if I had to choose like my style and what I want to sing the most, it's probably classic rock and R&B. But I can hold my own with hip hop. I grew up on a lot of good hip hop, so I'm gonna
Yeah.
say that. My question back to you, and I was gonna go to music with you as well. I was gonna go into the entertainment world. So if you could go on tour with any three people or groups that are living or deceased. Like if you jumped on a tour bus and you can be with these individuals or these bands or groups, who would you choose to be with if you pick three of them?
Yeah, top three would probably be Michael Jackson for one. His fame was insane. Two would be Frank Ocean. He hasn't released in a long time, and he's a great artist. And then three would honestly be Adele. She's done performing too, so it's kind of like all three of them don't perform anymore in terms of tours,
Yeah,
but all of them would be a great time, and just hearing their music live would be insane.
I like that. I'd be on that bus. All right, what's your next question for me?
What's your favorite NFL team?
The Jacksonville Jaguars. From the beginning, from 95 to now, I've always been a Jaguar fan. I blame it on Fred Taylor, mostly, Mark Brunell, and Keenan McCardell, Jimmy Smith, Donovan Darius, Aaron Beasley, Marcus Stroud. I mean, there's so many guys that I just love. Natron Means is on the team, Jimmy Stewart. But yeah, I mean, I've always been a Jag. So for the most part, I mean, since I was 9. So yeah, that's my team.
Yep.
My question back to you: if you could have dinner with any three wide receivers currently in the NFL, who would you want to eat with and why?
Devontae Adams, uh, he's been at it for a long time, and I guarantee he knows so much knowledge about the game. I also want to talk to him about his releases. His release package is insane. His separation is crazy. Second receiver would probably be Justin Jefferson. Um, I like the way he creates separation and the way he's very smooth with his routes. He's a great player, and I would love to understand his knowledge of the game as well. And then third would be Amar St. Brown. I think I'll probably compare to him the most out of all the receivers in the league. Kind of have the same playing style. So, like I said, I would love to hear his thought process on the slot position in the league. See what he thinks about the coverages. See what he thinks about the nuances with the routes and the schemes. And kind of dive deeper into his mind.
I like that. I can appreciate that. All right, what's your last question for me?
Um, I would say, what's your dreams? What's your dream car?
A DeLorean that would let me travel through time and space from Back to the Future that had the butterfly doors. I'd have to say that. I want a time traveling vehicle and I want it to have those doors. But if I had to choose one that like exists right now, I really like the Jeep Wrangler. I don't know. I rented one. So I was supposed to rent like a basic whatever car, economy car in Charlotte. And they were like, no, we're going to upgrade you for free. And they treat me good in Charlotte and in Greensboro. And I appreciate them for that. So they're like, you can have whatever you want. And I walked up to the Wrangler and I pointed to it. And the guy was like, go ahead, and I drove in it and I just fell in love with it immediately. Like I could not wait to get in the car. I'm driving around Charlotte and I'm like, man, I love this car. So it was funny because I went through the drive-through at Bojangles and the person running the drive-through, they're like, I really like your truck. And I was like, me too. So, but yeah, so I'd probably say a Jeep Wrangler.
Yes, sir.
My question, my last one for you. All right. If you could time travel forward or backward, where would you go and why?
I would say the 2000s,
Okay.
1990s to 2000s. For one, the fashion. I think
Okay.
their fashion was insane. And then for two, their music. I think to be immersed in that type of music at that exact time would be insane. And then also the movies. The movies of that time was top tier. I think that those movies are even better than the movies now. They're classics, and to watch that for the first time back in the day would have been insane as well.
Okay. All right. I respect that. I respect that you like the entertainment there. With that being said, before I let Trey go, I want to say one more thing. In the 2025 season, he started off this past season in college football with 4 straight games of 100 yards or more. The 5th game before he got injured was 91 yards, so that was just 9 yards shy of going 5 in a row of having at least 100 yards against Monmouth, as he mentioned, 223, Villanova 137, Syracuse 105, Fordham 126, and against Cornell 91. I also promised Damon Barnes because I asked him about you, so I want to ask you about him. He's a DB at Cornell. You're a receiver at Colgate. What was it like seeing him in the open field, and do you have any stories or thoughts as you're both in the draft together?
Yeah, I think he's a great safety. He's definitely powerful. He's a big safety, and he can come down and hit. I think he played the field well in his coverages and zones. 'Cause I think they played a lot of zone. It was going against us because I think at first the man wasn't working as well. But then when they went into zone, they really came together as a team, and I think he was a leader of that team and allowed them to really put them in the right position to succeed.
Kind words.
And I think they did a great job of starting to come back and
No, what
what
did
you
you
say?
say?
I'm sorry.
No, you froze for a second. So you're saying they did a good job of coming back, and then we lost you for a second.
Oh yeah, they did a great job of coming back and starting to key into our schemes and everything like that. But like I said, I think he was a great leader for that team and did a great job at against us.
So, with that being said, Treyvhon Saunders going to the 2026 NFL Draft, coming to you from the Colgate Raiders after leading the nation in at least 3 categories and being in the top 10 in another, and of course, holding a couple records in Colgate history. Trey, for your story, I'll have you back on the show. Love to have you back here. But from somebody who turned my head at Syracuse Pro Day to somebody who I definitely appreciate so much more now that I got to hear more of your story and get to share that with everybody. You've been an inspiration here this morning. I'm sure you've been an inspiration to people on and off camera. And I would love to continue to build our bond to tell your story. And you got a fan in me, man. I'm going to be rooting for you like crazy wherever you end up playing in the NFL.
No, absolutely. I appreciate you for taking the time out of your day to interview me and just talk to me and having this conversation. I really appreciate it.
Well, I'll definitely have you back on, Trey. And in the meantime, God bless to you and the family. Say hi to Dad, and I'll talk with you soon.
Absolutely. Thank you so much.
Thank you.